Welcome back to Glowing Hour. We're your hosts, Sam and Mel, or Mel and Sam.
Yay!
Yay!
Success. Intro, possibly check. We'll see.
Maybe we'll just get more used to it, because I feel like when we first initially changed our name,
Yes.
I kept wanting to say,
Glow Up, I get it.
yeah.
Yes. I was like, is that
Forgot
our name?
already. Anyway, so today's little cocktail we're having is a mocktail. We're doing the infamous, like, Sleepy Girl mocktail. It's just tart cherry juice and some sparkling water.
Yeah. Simple.
I've been religiously having this for, like, the last 3 months.
Oh, have you?
Maybe a little bit longer. I literally had really bad sleeping problems. They started when I was, like, 23, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only thing that keeps me, like, sleep through the night.
Really?
I do this and a pill of magnesium. Because I don't have the powder anymore.
That's probably why you get so sleepy. It's the combo. Hopefully this doesn't make you sleepy.
Well, no, I just drink, like yesterday, I just drank this.
Girl, I'm worried. You have to drive.
I know. Well, cheers.
I went light on the cherry, so maybe
Yeah.
save
We'll
yourself.
see. I have
It'll
a
just
little cup
relax
like
you.
this every night.
Of full cherry? Or
And, like, a splash of
oh, see, I did more of
the soda.
the soda.
Got it.
Okay.
I won't fall asleep on the wheel.
No, dude.
No, I'll probably just get home. Honestly, this is good, though, because I'm planning to, like, go to bed by, like, 9 tonight. Because I haven't been sleeping early, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh.
Dad,
Yeah.
I've been sleeping early and then I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to wake up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's cold out. I feel like it gets really tough to feel in the mood.
I don't know what it is, but that's for
It's the winter. Anyway,
another topic that we'll talk about later.
when you're listening to this, it'll be March, so we're getting closer to spring.
And then summer.
I saw this TikTok that was, I think I sent it to you. I don't know if you saw it, but it was
Probably
like
Maybe.
four periods away from summer. Like it said, like, ladies,
No.
4 periods away from summer.
Wait, that's kind of crazy.
And someone said that's the only way I'm going to track things now. Like,
4 periods away.
yeah. And honestly, I've been really anticipating my period because I was like, oh my God, I just want to check it off. You know, like,
That's
then I'll have
like-
3. And maybe that's why I haven't got my period yet. TMI, but
That's like just so interesting though. Like something far away, it'd be really horrible to track that. Like only 20 periods away till next Christmas. Not Christmas,
well, 12.
but even
Versus, like, I don't know. I
Like,
guess it's 12
you
months.
know?
It's the same thing, but it feels different.
4 periods sounds better than 4 months.
Yeah, it does, right?
But 12 periods in 12 months sounds just as long. Girl math.
Yeah.
Under 5, I guess, is like a small number of periods.
Yeah,
but
yeah. But anything
anything over 1 month is a long.
it's
So
too much.
Anyways. that's-
Anyway, that is not the topic for today. But I did want to hear that story.
Oh.
Sam encountered something this morning.
Yeah,
and I
so this
didn't hear about it.
morning, I saved this for the podcast. I was petting Louie and Layla by their front window in the cat tower. And I was like, I'm going to open the blinds for them. Like, fully opened it. And then I hear this, like, nice car pulling up in front of my house. And I realized it was a couple fighting. And I was like, oh. And, like, I'm literally, like, petting Louie, like, oh my God. Like, having a moment.
God.
And then I look, and, like, they can see me because now I open the blinds. But the one to the left of me is still closed, so
It's a quick.
I step back so fast, but I'm like looking still. And I overheard the guy saying, fine then, like, you can fucking walk or something. And she has, like, the door open. And I don't know what they're saying. But they're arguing. Like, it's just the tone of their voices. Like, they're arguing. And then she closes the door. And I'm watching him because he's about to hit my fucking car in the driveway. I was like, he's not being that crazy. But, like, he whipped it and, like, quickly reversed it so he could turn around. And then I'm assuming drive her back to her house. Damn, I should have waited. See if he came back around alone. But anyways, it was triggering. I was like, oh, been there before, gotten in a fight, and then been like, fine then, I'll get out of the fucking car. Or get out of the car, you fucking... Yeah. So I was like, dang,
is
someone on
really
my street is getting beefed up right now. I'm like,
That's
hopefully
really
you got out
fucking-
of the car and just left the
That is
situation.
literally fucking triggering.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And it was a reflective moment for me to feel like,
I don't want that again.
like, God just gave me a reminder, like, so what, you're single this Valentine's.
It's totally fine.
Like, you've been in worse situations, babe. It's
Honestly,
totally
though,
okay.
That's so true. Because, like, I feel like when I after recording last week, I went home and I was like,
and cried. Just kidding.
no. I went home and I asked Jen to hang out, and like I got home so late. Anyway, we went to like dinner and our friend Val was there, and I don't know why me and Jen got into when we get drunk, we just end up like talking about like all of the trauma from exes that we've ever had.
Nice.
And we're just spilling everything to our friend Val, and just like I just was talking about literally like things like that, like we're at, like, and it's so triggering. Like car situations are so scary. Like I remember like just like being in very dangerous situations where like either you're getting out of the car all fucking mad and you're like alone, or like
you've been dropped off somewhere alone.
No, I've gotten out of the car and like been like I'm gonna fucking walk.
And you walked
for a little
somewhere. Where'd you go?
The toxicness is like that he came back and made me get in the car.
Okay.
You know, that kind of thing.
I mean, it was like toxic, but also maybe for the best. But also,
right.
but also not.
But also not.
Yeah. Okay.
I just should have walked.
Ubered
or something.
Called someone.
Yeah. Or just being in the car and like just being so angry that like it's unsafe.
Right. I've been there before too.
It's not cool.
It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's like
we just need to take a beat.
Yeah, like we should
Let's pull over.
Let's just like not speak.
Let's just all get out.
Yeah, let's all just not be in the car. How about that?
Anyways.
Yeah, that's triggering. That's crazy.
So I felt for them. It seemed like the situation was de-escalating. Like someone there was resolution, and I'm like, damn, you barely got in the car, like
mad already
from the
before you
get.
even get in the car, probably.
Literally, probably got in the car and brought up something and went. Didn't even make it to the end of the street.
I'm
the last street on the house, so
I feel that at one point.
Yeah,
can't be that no more, but
that's
some stuff, man.
Yeah, I was talking to one of our friends about being single on Valentine's Day, and she was just feeling really like distraught about it, and I was literally like, I'd rather be alone and potentially unhappy or lonely than be in the wrong relationship again. Like that was actual, like the amount of stress and anxiety I felt really probably aged me some years.
Yeah.
So I'll take it any day. She was like, you're so right. And I was like, I know.
I know. I've learned a lot.
I've learned so much in my time.
But it's true. Like, happily single or happily in a relationship, there's literally no in between, and there should never be.
Yeah, but there surely is, as we know.
There surely is. And I get it.
But anyway, that is literally not the topic.
It's not the topic.
Either.
We wanted to give you guys an update. I know we talked about going to an event joining a platform called 222.
Did we talk about it?
Yeah, we did.
We did. Mm-hmm. When? In the last episode? Like last week or this last one? Like the one you edited?
Was it Valentine's Day one, or was it the one today? One of the two, either on Wednesday or Friday. Valentine's Day or the day on Friday.
The week of Valentine's episode.
Yeah. We talked about going to this event basically to meet people and make new friends and whatnot. So we're gonna talk about our experience. We're gonna full circle it. Don't know if 222's listening.
Hi. We are your free feedback sources for the night.
So let's talk about the platform itself.
Okay, let's talk like in order of how we so we did encountered things.
Yeah. For a refresh, we had found the platform I found the platform, sent it to Logan. Logan sent it to Sam. Sam sent it to Katie, and now we're all signed up.
Yes.
We basically had a full quiz, or what do you want to call it? Questionnaire that got all of your information from all of your likes, dislikes, your entrances, your preferences, things like that. It was a very lengthy questionnaire, but I think it's necessary based on the fact that they're trying to match you up with people.
Yeah.
There was questions on there from politics to I don't know,
food, humor, movies, music, whatever, stuff like that.
Your attractiveness,
preferences,
things like that. So then you do the questionnaire, and then they kind of put you in a category of what kind of person you are. I guess.
Also, there's I guess you can get denied.
I didn't know that.
That I did not know either. Someone on Reddit said it. I don't know if that's true or factual at all, but if it is, I guess some people get denied. I don't really think so, though. I feel like maybe that person had a serial killer trait, and that's why they didn't get which I appreciate.
Was the denial
222.
like getting on the platform, or was the denial like going to an event? Like you get they
I
get
don't
chosen.
know. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm unsure.
Well, either way, thank you for sifting out some people.
Yeah, that maybe seem
A little
not a
sketchy.
good fit. Yeah.
So that was like the beginning stages of things.
Yeah, and then they just immediately start texting you. Not immediate, like not, anything crazy, but just like they start texting you events. I think it's like 3 a week.
I think so.
That's my typical like invite, like how many events they want to send me. I usually get like 2 or 3.
I think that's either because based on our like availability of what we put.
Yeah.
Because they do ask you like what days you are available to go on to an event.
Mm-hmm.
We must have put the same thing, or like maybe that's all they have going on right now. I don't really know.
Really no
I'm not
idea.
sure because I think we all have like all of our friends and the people that we know personally who are on the platform. Like I think we all have same preferences.
Which we'll talk about our whole thoughts at the end. But like next,
you
sign up for one.
You sign up for an event.
Yeah.
There was I think 2 other ones right before the one we went to, but so you go to the page that it like sends you to. It's an app. So like the platform now is an app, and there they have like kind of like small details of the event. It's not full through, like they tell you exactly what
where
happens.
it is, and
They just kind of give you like a basis of where it's going to be. So like for us it was in Playa del Rey, and it was going to be around like, what did they tell us the time?
They said around
2 p.m., right?
Dinner and drinks.
Yeah,
after
and
at like a place with games.
Yes. So they give you like location, general location, general time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then they give you like the activity you're going to be doing. So it was lunch and dive bar.
Yeah.
So yeah, you sign up for the event. You have to pay like a fee.
Oh yeah. And there was options.
Yeah, there's options. So you can buy like a monthly subscription. Oh, sorry. Let me start over. You can buy like just the purchase of the event, or you can buy
curation fee.
Right.
Which I'm like, cute name.
Cute
curation
name.
Fee.
Or you can purchase like a monthly subscription, which the amount totals to 2222, which is so cute.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
And then the third option is you can buy like a yearly subscription,
which is 222.
It's more
22.
So that was the basis of that. We decided to do the monthly because we're like, the cost was like
$5 more.
$5 more. It was not bad. Also, their pricing's not bad. Like their curation fee is like $17 or something like that per event.
Mm-hmm.
Putting on an event is so stressful and a lot of work. So I don't know, I would pay that fee for someone to do that for me.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is like the cameras, I think, too, is
that too.
Part of the curation.
Yeah. So now I guess moving towards like the actual.
Yeah. So, so we said yes, and then it said more details to come, essentially. And like if you'll be selected. And we're like, excuse me?
Like there was like a waitlist situation where like we're waitlisted. That made me nervous because I was like, I paid money. We all paid money. We're all like now invested in this event.
Yeah.
We were scared that like there was 4 of us. It was me, Logan, Sam, and Katie.
Yeah.
We were scared. We were like half of us were gonna get selected or just one of us, and like
it was just like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting to be waitlisted once. But like whatever. I mean, at the end of the day,
it worked out.
It's not, and it's also not the point to go with your friends. So like if they had done that, it wouldn't have been like, it would have sucked for sure because we're carpooling and like it was this whole thing. We had plans. So I feel like maybe they should, like maybe there should be a little section that says like bringing a friend, but then they have the invite. So you can invite someone for free. That doesn't have to pay the curation fee. But the downside to that is they don't have a questionnaire. So like they don't necessarily get matched. But it makes sense because you're my friend.
And
we're similar.
Yeah.
So like whatever. But there was some downsides to doing it all through the app if you're going as a group. But I think, I don't understand the waitlist thing. Like if that's an every event thing. We've only been to one. So we're still testing out the waters. But yeah, we did decide to do the month though also.
So we have one more event that we can join in on.
Yeah. But once you say yes, you get waitlisted, whatever. We found out 24 hours before the event, I'd say. Or maybe a little less, like 12 hours before.
I think like 12 hours.
It's like Friday night.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, cool, you've been selected.
Wait for more details.
Yeah.
And then next day, we're kind of waiting for the details. Mm-hmm. I think we got like more details
We got like the location.
We got the location and
the time.
the time, but we didn't really look at all the time.
Nobody set each other our locations and times.
Yeah. So we all got our location. We were just like, oh my God, we got selected. We're going to Playa del Rey. None of us decided to tell each other like, hey,
what are specific details?
Yeah, what are your details?
We didn't think they'd be different.
So come to find, we're all sitting at the table at my house ready to like go. First of all, we were ready way too early and it was just like so much anxiety.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at the table and I'm like looking at how far my thing is and I'm like, oh my God, dude, mine says 2:30 because everybody says, or there was like,
because we were like, we have to be there by 2 or whatever.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out like how to get there at 2. And then I looked at mine and I was like, it says 2:30 for me. And then Sam's like, me too. And we're like, what the fuck? And then so we're looking at like that and then we get to find that like none of us have, or I guess like, okay, let me just make it more specific. Me and Logan had one specific location that was in Playa del Rey, and then Sam and Katie had another location.
Yes.
So not only do we have different times, like all 4 of us had different times, and then there was different locations to go to. So we just assumed we were all going to be at the same lunch spot.
But different tables.
But different tables, and like can say hi to each other from across the room, but come to find out, we're not even going to be at the same place. Not that that's bad. It was just like
we weren't mentally prepared.
No, yeah.
But it was still like, at least I have one person.
Yeah.
So like, okay, it'll be all right. And then we're like, maybe it's because your vegan food preferences, but then people at their place didn't have that. So we don't know why. Maybe it's just random how they place people at certain restaurants. It's just like, oh, capacity. Okay, next set of people who signed up.
Right.
Or whatever.
So that was like an interesting thing to find out. I think like there's just so much mystery that I feel like my anxiety was just so high because I'm like, I'm already scared to meet people. And then B, like, I have no idea. Like, I have no stability in knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like the first one is the scariest.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like better equipped because I just know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And also, we'll get there. So we found out we're going different places. So we all decided, let's just all arrive at the first time, like 2:00, which is when the first person has to be at their restaurant. So we split up, we go to our restaurants, and on mine and Katie's end, we walk in and there's just one girl at a table, and the restaurant owner's like, hi, like he's so excited. And we're like, hi, we're here for the 222 event. And he's like, oh, he's like kind of disappointed. And he goes, oh, well, okay, like you could go sit over here. And I was like, okay, it's supposed to be like the specific table because we get assigned a table as well. And we all got different table. So we were not going to be seated together. And he's like, oh, well, whatever. He's basically very confused. And Katie and I were like, okay, well, we'll sit with this girl because I don't know. But then we immediately went to the bathroom. We're like, we actually have to pee really quick. We are back. So on the way to the bathroom, Katie saw like the packets that have the table numbers and the camera and the questions inside. And I was like, oh, period. Like we should just grab our tables. And then the owner came up to me. Oh, I don't know if he's the owner, but the owner came up to us and he was like, oh, like, what are you doing? Like, the guy told me about these, but what are you supposed to do with them? And I was like, oh, whatever. Explain the whole thing as if I fucking work for 222. And he's like, I don't get it. And he's like, let me show you my iPad. And it's like the Yelp. It's like, I'm like, I got the behind the scenes, but like, it's basically a number of people and then the table number. So he's supposed to set it on a table that can seat 6 people or a table that can seat 2 people. So like, that's all he was supposed to do, really. So I did that. And then people started showing up at their like staggered times, which was like...
It was 2, 2:15, 2:30, and 2:45.
Okay. So we had 2 and 2:30. That was like our groups. But like it sucked for me in terms of carpooling because I was starving. Like I waited for my whole table to get there before I ate, but I was there at 2. And then one other guy also came a little earlier. And they tell you, like, don't be late. It's rude for the rest of the group. And which is true.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're eating. But it was like, whatever. I mean, it's so, in my opinion, so unorganized that, like, it really didn't matter when you showed up. Like, no one from 222 is there. Which I thought was kind of weird. I also get it. Because we're all grown adults. We can fucking figure it out. But I still think it's weird.
Yeah.
Or at least just have it set up properly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had a very similar experience. I did not have the option to, like, try to organize the tables.
Yeah.
When we first got there, so, like, Logan and I walked over. we went into the restaurant. We're like, hey, we're here for the 222 event. And they're like, okay. And first of all, this place is small. I didn't know there was like a back area. And I was like, are we at the wrong place? They're like, yeah, okay. The tables are back there. And I was like, okay. And so we walk back there and there's like a little patio, but there's like normal people out there too, like sitting out there. So it's like, it's not just for the, event, which I get, like they made a reservation online. Like it's not an event space, So then we walk in and there's just two guys sitting at a table. And I'm like, hey, are you guys like at the here for 222? They're like, yeah. And they, we sit down, we're like, what table number were you guys? Completely different table numbers than us. And we're like, okay, I guess we'll just sit here. I'm extra early. I'm 2:30 and Logan's time was 2. So I'm just sitting there at first. And then more people come and it's still like they have completely random table numbers. I'm the only one who like has a completely different table number. I was like 22. Everyone else was like 20 and 21. So there was like some matches at my table, but not me. But by the time it was my time, like no one really had shown up for my table yet. They all showed up at like 2:45. So I was just like, and I had already ordered my food. Like, you were hungry. I was fucking hungry. Like, I ordered my food at the table that I was at. Yeah. And then the man doesn't also bring the cameras until like halfway through my meal.
Oh, nice.
Or like the packets.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
So it's just, I didn't even know like that's when we were gonna get like our information or whatever.
Right, especially when it's your first event.
Yeah. I also felt like really conflicted, like once I got my food and I was eating, that's when everybody else showed up. And I was like, well, now I can't like pick up my plate and like walk it over to like the table because they haven't even ordered food. It just felt, like you said, disorganized. I feel like maybe me finding solutions for 222 right here. I feel like maybe like either if you don't want to have somebody there, like maybe you have like a leader for like each table, like that you send out the information to, like, hey, go pick up the packet from the front.
But like annoying, I paid for this event.
That's true.
I don't want to work. Sorry, pay me then. This event should be free. Which it should have been for me because I fucking set up the tables.
I think it's just, like I understand the anonymous part of like
of them
and like, leaving it up to the restaurants. Also, like I feel like these two restaurants got more business than they've probably gotten in a while, which I thought that was like really cool that they like pick something that's like kind of like low key.
Yeah, agreed.
And I also understand why they don't necessarily make it like an event space or pay for an event space because it's expensive versus just like
making reservations at it. Yeah.
But then you're asking the restaurant to do a little too much, Yeah,
the restaurant's then in charge of like figuring out where these cameras go. Yeah. Like, they were like, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah. So,
and like, I guess there is like an appeal to the fact that like, oh, someone's gonna take charge in the event, or like, I don't know, but it's also like, regardless of that, it didn't really change my experience overall of like meeting people. I didn't like, unless I like was to go up and introduce myself to every table and be like, hi, by the way, they didn't set up the tables, I did. Like,
well, see, like I feel like none of us at our restaurant did that or didn't feel comfortable to do that because like everyone was mixed up at that point.
Yeah, and you had different foods and stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if I were to already have gotten my food, because people showed up after. Like, the tables were empty when I was setting them up. It was just me, Katie, and this other girl, and then one other girl came, and I was like, oh, for sure, I'm not supposed to sit at this table, but I set up the other one, so I'll go sit at mine now.
Yeah.
Like, because no one's at my table because I'm too early. So, like, but, like, that thing isn't that big of a deal to me. Like, the time discrepancy.
To me, it was. Because I would have had to do the, hey, are you, now when everyone's there, like, then I would have to go up to people.
Like, them spacing us out in general, because obviously we're not +1s. So, they just assumed we're coming separately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, in general, I don't think the time is something that they have to fix. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. Yeah. I think it's just the organization piece of
having the seating where it's supposed to be. Because otherwise you would have sat at another table and just waited there.
Yeah.
And been starving, but would have been our own infliction. Yeah.
Because, like, the man also didn't even tell us, like, these are 3 tables that are
for the event.
Because
they don't even know that.
No.
They're just like, I don't know.
So it was kind of confusing. And I feel like and this is maybe, like, I made best with what I had, but like I definitely feel like I didn't get the full experience because I didn't sit at the right table.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like it didn't hit for me.
Which I think is also not to say I didn't like my table, because that's not what I'm saying, but just like, even if you were with your matches,
it doesn't mean that you're gonna be like compatible, but
but I get what you're saying, and like at least I would have known like people you think I'm supposed to be sitting
Right.
with, and then like you couldn't even do the survey
The
at
feedback,
the end,
yeah.
which we'll get to that again. But okay, so we had dinner essentially. Lunch. Sorry, it was like I felt like it was dinner because I was starving.
You're starving. It was like 2:30 when we ate, so it was like lunchtime. But we finished lunch and then.
Well, we finished lunch and then it was like I asked for separate checks, and the guy was like, okay, and then he brought one full check, so I was like, okay, well then apparently now we just met each other and we're having this awkward like, so who wants to pay, and then we're gonna Venmo, and which like we're all adults, it's fine, but like also just like that piece is like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like I just wish it was a little more seamless in that way, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's the real world. So we all pay, and then it's like staggered. People are leaving and going to the bar before or after, and then you all walk, which people from my table bailed.
Like almost everyone?
No. Just one person bailed. She just decided not to come at all to the bar. I was like, okay, it's fair, I guess. I guess at the table too, the camera and the questions.
Oh yeah, that's the packet we were talking about.
So
over.
Yeah, a lot of people at my table have been a few times, so they were like, "Oh yeah, it's the same exact questions every single time." Okay. So I think that's kind of boring.
Yeah, maybe switch it up.
Or like one of the girls was like, "There's so many games where you could play like dinner party kind of games. Like they should just have those. Like we're not really strangers, but obviously not."
There's a different one we played at. Was it?
Oh. Friendsgiving?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone brought that.
There's like plenty of other games where they don't even have to come up with something, but here's an idea, partnering with someone like We're Not Really Strangers, some sort of game company, and then just saying, hey, we'll have your freaking things just given to us for free.
Yeah.
And there'll be disposables, content, like all this, whatever. That's a pitch. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I just think there's a little more attention to detail that could be happening there. But also the people at the table were just very much giving me the full experience of like going to multiple events. Like they've been to like 12. And it was to be expected. I think that it was disorganized. I think it's getting better though. Like the fact that they have an app now. We heard that the disposables don't come back for like months, if ever. Like sometimes they get lost, which I think could be just human error. Like someone genuinely didn't turn it in or whatever. So that's like, we're getting all this information from the get and we're like, holy shit. So then we finally get to go be with each other again. And we're like, see you at the bar. We're going to the bar.
Was it awkward like trying to leave at all?
I had to pee. So I was like, I'm going to pee. Like if you guys want to leave, I totally get. And they're like, no, we'll wait for you. So they waited for me. And then
But how did you guys all decide, like, it's time to go? Like, once you got the text, like, here's the place?
No, because we weren't done eating at all by then. It was just like, oh, we got the place. Cool. Next. Oh, yeah. So it texts you. It only gives you the dinner place. And then it texts you the set. Sorry, lunch. Oh, my God. The food place. The place you eat. And then it sends you the bar mid-event. Like, so you can't, I guess, plan ahead. I don't fucking know.
Or, like, dip out. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be at the full experience versus like
you have to check in too.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if you don't check in, you get penalized and whatever, you don't get the texts.
Yeah. So anyway, we're all walking back. We're all going to the
I
was asking that because it was kind of awkward. Like we were all like, well, first of all, I sat at the table with Logan, and Logan is just a person who loves to ask questions or like talk a lot when she gets nervous. So like she was leading conversation, leading conversation, and literally like I don't like not speaking too much about herself, but literally just having other people like talk to each other. I was just like silently eating,
and so you're like, come on, next, let's just go to the next place somewhere.
Yeah. So like people were like talking still. We had all gotten the text, and I was like, all right, so like kind of in my head I'm like, when are we all gonna leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, all right, so how do we pay? Like
literally the how do we pay?
Yeah. So anyway, that was a little bit awkward, but so then we all go to the bar, which is like a few stores down.
Yeah.
For me, it was next door.
Walking distance. Luckily, I've heard sometimes you have to drive short distances, but whatever. So this place was close.
It's a little dive bar.
Which they did say dive bar, so they weren't wrong.
Yeah. I will say, bartender was not
She was not happy, but that's okay.
She, I guess, was never told that many people were coming. But I'm like, also, you're a bar, though. Like,
yeah, she was
expect to be busy, even if it's not. I don't know.
I wonder if they tell them.
Like the bar?
Like, did she not know she was part of, like, this event?
I don't think so.
Which is crazy. Like, what if she didn't have enough beer? Or something. You know, I don't know. Like,
I mean, maybe true. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is also like, just hire us. I just feel like maybe like in scouting locations, like being very intentional about like quantity of people and like whether or not like it's compatible with places that you're looking to do this at. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't think it was
bad, but I think like, and I think they had enough, but I'm saying like,
just
future,
in general.
Yeah, in general, like, I think that woman was really stressed out.
I heard that one of the place's second locations was also it's
overwhelmed.
Like, no, the place wasn't overwhelmed. It was just like dirty frat house club. Santa Monica. Say no to those. But so it's like I'm saying it's like probably not the least. It's common. Maybe that sometimes the venue isn't exactly it. But I mean that's kind of part of the experience, right? To find out you'd like or dislike this place, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's like, I didn't have to pick the bar and decide if I liked it. I just went and then decided, I guess. But in general, 222, like, picking places that people will like is always nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, people who are playing ping pong, man, they're loving it.
Loving it. Yeah, the dive bar was fun. I feel like then you kind of like I think the point would be like every table then comes together and like, you know, if you came with a friend, like your matches would then like also talk and then it's like this big powwow of people who are very compatible.
Yeah.
I mean, we met a few people that I think were like really nice and I wouldn't say like fully like compatible with, but it was still fun. Yeah.
And they say like the more events that you go to, like the more fine-tuned it gets to like your matches, I guess, and the events that it offers you. Like the one guy that was at my table who's been to 12, he said that he gets like the option to skip the food part and just go to the after thing, and I'm like, it's so interesting. And I wonder if that's like a extrovertedness in his like, you know, questionnaire that is like, you don't even have to go to the dinner because like you're fine.
That's interesting.
Or if it's just like you've been to so many, you get it. You'll introduce yourself to people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think
I really wonder what the back end looks like for them, but yeah.
So then
they sent us another 2 bars while we're at the first one, which was kind of cool. People said that wasn't common. Sending
multiple locations
like after the second, usually there's no others, but they sent us 2 more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe there's a plant here. Maybe they're realizing how full this place is, so they're trying to send people somewhere else. But then one of the places that they sent didn't open for another 2 hours. So it was like,
I think that's also like, I think that's what I'm talking about, like with scouting locations.
It's like, you think I'm going to be here 2 hours?
I think like there needs to be better planning on like timing and availability and like capacity at
and
places.
Just like restaurant owners' willingness to
But
participate.
I guess I'm wondering, I'm like pretty sure that that's like why they don't speak to the owners, because it's like cutting costs, because it's just like it's just supposed to be like people meeting versus like having events,
right? Because then they're like, then there's a fee,
right? So I get what you're doing. It's hard to organize something that's spontaneous or like
I do have like the benefit of the doubt for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. And then so we spent about like an hour to 2 hours there.
Taking pictures, meeting other people, meeting each other's people. Not really playing games, but
there's only one ping pong table, so it's kind of like.
I was gonna say about the cameras. There was a tote bag to check in at the next place, and there was just like a tote bag hanging on said QR code. There was no like sign that said, "This is where you leave your camera. Thank you so much." So I think that's why they probably have issues with the cameras getting stolen. Like people just stealing that whole bag thinking there's something good in it. And it's really just photos of people. So I'm kind of like, like there are some flaws in the system. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
like if we had all been first timers, we would have just guessed where to put the camera at the end, or taken it home and then been fucked and then had to pay the fee.
Pay the fee. Yeah, I think it maybe wouldn't hurt to like
just a little printout. If you can scan the QR, also put right under it, drop camera off here. Just simple. Or the bag says it itself. You know? I don't know. Just little things.
It's the little things. I think it now, like, we understand what's supposed to happen, but I think, yeah, going as first timers, it was difficult. And like for me, there was like my entire table was first timers, so it was kind of like
everyone's like, what?
No one knew what the fuck was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, the experience, I would have to say, was really interesting. I think for me personally, it was challenging. I feel like that's why I kind of like went into like wanting to do this event and like signed up for the actual app itself. Is like I actually genuinely want to meet other people, but at the same time, like just putting myself out there just to put myself out there. Like I don't necessarily need to gain anything. I don't need to meet my best friends. Like I already have really great friends, but I think like I do want to become more comfortable with the uncomfortableness of like meeting new people. And I know it sounds silly. Maybe it doesn't sound silly to like our generation who's like listening, but when I speak to like older people about this kind of stuff, I'm like, y'all don't get it. We all live on our phones, and like I think we've all, whether you're extroverted or not, I think like we've all kind of like hit ourselves behind like a screen a little bit.
The opportunities anymore, I think, to put ourselves out there as much.
Well, I think we do, but none of us are taking advantage of it. Like even when you go to a bar, like you're going with your friends and you try, like you don't really go outside of that, versus like, I don't know. I think like we all get really stuck on like even connecting. Like it's like, oh, give me your Instagram, versus like, hey, do you want to grab lunch next week? You know what I mean? Like it's like not so immediate anymore. I think people like have gotten so comfortable with like getting someone social to then judge them later to then like never see them again and just have each other as followers. And it's like, why are we living in this like cycle of this fucking like madness? Like I think that's like a big piece of like why I wanted to push myself into this, because like I think that I am definitely that person who like does those things and I don't know why.
I think there's also like the compatibility wise, like I think if you really did like someone, you would say follow me on Instagram, plus like I'm gonna message you about hanging out sometime. But also like I don't know,
but I don't think that really happens. Like,
but you don't think if you really liked someone at that event, you'd be like, I don't even tell Katie, let's hang out and get lunch
at the event. I'm not talking about the event, I'm just talking about like out in the world prior to 222 like doing it. Like that's how I would like manage my like meeting people, and like I feel like that's so silly.
I feel like I genuinely don't know how my parents like connected with new people, because I feel like their circle is very much just like people they did go to high school with, and then family, and then whoever like coworkers that got brought into that. So I feel like that's mostly how they interacted. But that's my parents. Like obviously my parents were young parents, so they weren't out clubbing or like meeting people. So I am curious what that like was like back in the day. Like if they were like, hey, I'm just imagining drunk people like, we should meet here next week. Like is that not what they said? Like we should come back. But like we're so like our generation.
Well, that's where you come here often, like.
Yeah, but I feel like our generation is just so like hungry for new and different that we don't want to go back to the same places. You know what I mean? It's like, how often are we a regular somewhere?
I'm like, yes.
And that's why we never say shit like that.
I mean, I think that's just like outdated language, but like, I don't know. I like kind of agree with you, but I also don't, because I feel like, I don't know, at least like living in LA, like the places to go is very like saturated, like and like going out dancing, you know where to go, like cool like chill bars, you know where to go, that are like trend like to your own aesthetic or like, you know, I don't know, I know what you mean. But like that's how.
So you're saying if you're at like a regular spot, like your whatever favorite bar,
you're not gonna be saying like you come here often, but like
maybe that's the new line to bring back.
But like even like being at those same places, that's what I'm saying, like even still go like you could see the same people at the fucking same place, but you're like, hey, like let's connect on Instagram, but then like you doesn't go further than that, and you're still seeing these fucking people at the same place. It's like I think we're so stuck behind like this facade of social like currency, behind like our
Well,
phones.
I get that a lot too in LA. Like I don't, LA's where I go out. So in LA, that's where I get like the people that are like, they don't even remember my name, but they're
That's
just like,
what I'm
follow me on
saying.
Instagram. And
That's
I'm like,
what I'm saying.
and I'm like, what? Like, you don't even know what I
Yeah.
do for work or where I went to school, or like, you didn't even ask me a question about myself. So I do get what you're saying.
And I think like I want that to change like out in the world. So like if I'm not implementing it for like other people, how do I expect that that's going to happen to me or like guide that conversation in that way? And I feel like things like 222 are a good way to start challenging that like
A place to
issue.
feel more like you would do that, because obviously
Yeah.
at bars and stuff it's a lot harder to know if you even like somebody
Yeah.
because you can't fucking hear them.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
And also for like the first time, I felt like everyone at the event like didn't want to be on their phones.
It felt rude
It felt rude to
because
do
we're
that.
all intentionally trying to
be
talk
there.
So if I'm on my phone,
And it sounds like such a simple thing, but I was like, oh, I'm so present about that. Like that's so weird that like
I need
everyone's
this event to feel that way.
and like
Well, because we're never intentionally really meeting new people, you know what
like
I mean?
we go out and I mean we're not like I'm gonna go meet new people, but like we go out knowing that there's new people out in the world we are gonna happen to come across.
Yeah,
But we still use our phones to like
it's so interesting. Okay,
create a screen.
random side note, but we went out literally right after the event. We went out into the world and we went to this event, and it was like the end of the night, and Logan's looking at some guy across the room and she's like, Sam, like go talk to him. And I look at him and I'm like, no. And she's like, why? And then I was just like, I don't know, I'd rather be with my friends than go talk to some strange man I don't know. And she was like, period. And then I was just like, but that's also why, like, the intention of when we go out is generally to dance with our friends. So that's why we're not really meeting new people. So maybe that's like the different, like sometimes we set the intention like, hey, yes, we're going out and dancing with each other, but let's meet new friends too. Like, let's do our best to like, if we see someone interesting,
Yeah.
bring them into our circle or like whatever. And also another random thing that I was talking about with Katie, we were talking about ex-boyfriends, and she was like, we just need to get more comfortable with inviting people to things. And she's like times you would go out with your exes as like friends, we could have easily been invited to those things and like it would have been fine. And I'm like, that's so true. Like and I was like, there's maybe a lot of reasons for that, but yes, in the future it does make a lot of sense for us just to all, obviously for certain occasions, right? But like in general, like, hey, we're going out tonight if you guys want to come down to whatever city or whatever. So anyway, just the intention, I think, setting behind it is why we don't talk to anyone, because it's like, I'm taking away from what I set as the intention tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think also though it's because we're like every time we go out and hang like at a bar or to go dance or whatever, it's like because all of us haven't spent like intentional time together.
That's our intentional time together.
Yeah. So I mean there's a lot of factors.
It's like we don't spend enough time together to then add more people to the group. But also there is always. So it's like,
yeah.
we just add you to that intentional time, that other person. We want to hang out one-on-one. You can be a group friend.
I will say, like, I think it's also, like, all of us in our friend group currently, maybe Katie's the only exception in this way, but, like, when we're out, like, we very much, like, stick to the tiny group that we have. Because I remember when, like, I would go out with, like, Erica or Bodhi, like, they're very much, like, let's wrangle people.
Like, let's wrangle people.
Let's make new friends type thing. And it wasn't like an intentional piece of like, let's go meet new people.
It was just their eyes were always open.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like, and I think that's like how like we think we're like, we're going to go hang out with our girls. Like,
yeah.
That's the piece that we're focused on. But maybe it's just like literally just the change of piece of like,
be like, I'm actually
a little open.
Okay with talking to someone different today or whatever.
Because like then honestly like though like kind of chaotic, but like in times of like going out with like Bodhi and Erica, like sometimes we would like bring random people back to Bodhi's house. And like this was back in before like she left, but like
I was like before
back in like my 20 like
yeah.
early 20s, like we would bring back people to her house and we would have like an after party. But then like we would meet those same people we'd go out with again later.
Yeah, I think that's also the piece that matters, because like typically, not always, but like it depends on where you are. I feel like a club or bar setting is where you're most likely to like speak to people because you're social.
Yeah.
The anxiety is down, you're drinking, whatever. But sometimes you meet people that are like, all they do is club or
That's
go to
true.
bars. So then you're like, wait a minute. Like, you're only inviting me to these things or whatever, which, like, I don't know. It's so
true.
complex.
It's very complex.
But then that's why 222 is our, like, non-clubbing way to meet people.
Option.
Yeah.
So anyway, to fully come circle to the end of, like, our experience, we had gotten then, like, a survey at the I think it was, like, the next day.
Yeah, the next day.
Basically to kind of, like, get your feedback on, like, the people you've met and, like, the venues and whatnot.
People you liked or didn't like at your table, even.
How compatible you felt with them.
Or strangers, stuff like that. What else? That was kind of it, right?
That was kind of it. I couldn't put anybody that I met. Like, I think I put, like, the one random person that we had all, like, come to be friends with at the end. But that was it.
Oh, he wasn't at your table?
He was at my table, but not my table.
Right.
Yeah. Not even Logan's either.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The app is cool, though, for one, I will say.
The app is it's a very cool interface.
Yes, it vibrates. I like it.
It's very to the senses.
And then the camera, the photos actually got back to us within 6 days.
Mm-hmm. And they're really cute.
I'm like, okay, 222 knew we were recording. Like, wow. And it did say, like, go to the app to see your photos, which I wonder if they're there now. They weren't this morning when they said they were. Let's just...
Like, my phone's recording.
Finalize. No. Yeah. So in the app, they're not there, but they do have the Dropbox link already. So it might just be, like, new app, slight glitch.
Yeah.
But I will say, use Flash.
Yeah, use Flash on those disposables.
A lot of people were not using Flash, and in daylight settings, sure, but some people the photos are just dusty brown, just nothing there, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. But also, we did struggle to use the whole camera, and I wonder also if people went to the other event, like the second and third,
and, like,
where'd the camera go? Yeah, interesting piece. I don't know. But yeah, it was cool. Met some cool people. Followed them on Instagram.
not to roast you.
Yeah.
Earlier.
But, like, I mean, it just felt like also, like, the right thing to do in a weird way. Like, to feel like, yeah, like, I'd stay connected with you.
I mean, you might see these people at another event, like, in reality.
That's true.
So
you never know. So, and maybe it just takes a couple times to warm up to certain people. You never know. I
definitely, like, even though, like, I didn't have, like, the full experience in my opinion, I would want to go to another one to like.
Did we say that we did the subscription for the month? Okay, so yeah, so it's $5 more, so we should at least go to 2 essentially. That's girl math. At least go to 2, and then after that we'll decide if we want to keep it. I guess I might just pay the curation fee every time I want to go.
Yeah, like
once a month seems pretty solid.
Okay, sorry if the camera looks different now. Don't worry about it. Having some things happen.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we liked 222 and the event was fun. We'd want to go again. But kind
of hoping for more, like,
I think
whimsical things, like a picnic, like we're all meeting at the park, bring food to eat, like bring your own food, but meet at the park or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't always think the sit down is necessary.
Yeah, the dinner, I don't... Especially, like, when the food...
Yeah, I think, like, what would have been cool is, like, still going to the dive bar, but maybe just leaving those cards at the tables. And say, like, go to the room on the left. Go sit at your table, and then everyone just, like, actually plays the game.
It just requires them to actually organize.
Well, it's the same thing. You're dropping the fucking things off.
But then if other, like, strangers come, you know?
Yeah.
Then they'll be, like, using their stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, then it requires the event or the restaurant to be involved, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what
the compromise is either.
But I don't always feel like
I hope it's not always dinner and drinks. I hope that's what I'm saying. Like, if they do something different every...
Yeah. Or, like, an activity.
Right. Depending on the activity. Like, can't talk to people if we're ziplining. I don't know why I picked ziplining. Safari, cruise...
I don't know.
Malibu wine safari. Something like that. I don't know.
Wine tasting. Anyway.
Yeah.
It would be cool to do a different, like, scenario.
Maybe that's what our goal is for the second one. Something different than the dinner and drink.
Yeah. lunch
We'll
and
see.
drink. But
God damn it. Sorry, guys. I'm addicted to dinner and drinks, I guess.
but that was our experience. We had a good time and
Can't wait to be back.
can't wait to do it again.
And update you again. Because what if we have a totally different experience?
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Maybe the pics never come back. I don't know.
That would suck. Anyway, find those pics on Instagram. We'll
Yeah.
probably be posting them there. But that's all we have for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I don't know, go join 222. Maybe we
Yeah.
have like a referral link. I don't know if we do.
Maybe. And then maybe we'll see you guys there.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
We're always talking about like wanting to meet new
You
people
guys.
and you guys. So
Mhm.
join 222 and maybe we'll catch each other on an event.
That'd be so fun.
And 222, if you're listening, we can
help.
help. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Go engage with us on our social media. Go ahead and rate this podcast. Give it a like, whatever it is that you're on. Do the things that feel good on there. Yeah, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.